I can't help but wonder why this cover looks very, very familiar. It's very strange. It's like at the tip of my tongue. It feels like it could have came from something out of Brooklyn. Well, whoever did it, it's crafty. What is up, everybody? My name is Justin French, covering music for those who care, and right now I'm taking a look at the surprise 10th studio album from Eminem. This one is entitled Kamikaze. So, Kamikaze follows up Revival, which was actually just released in December of last year, so it's been about an 8-month gap in between both of these records, and like I said, this is a surprise release. And while Revival did have a bit of commercial success, of course it hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, and did have 2 top 20 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, critics and most fans just weren't really into that record. And I did get a chance to review the record whenever I did it, and I'll put the card right about over here. But in case you missed it, I'll go ahead and let you know how I thought about it. I thought it was fine for what it was. I mean, it's not one of Eminem's best projects, but I mean, there are still a few songs that I do come back to that record. But at the same time, like I said, it's not one of his best. And honestly, I feel like it's just a bit unfocused. So, I wasn't too sure what to expect from this surprise album from Eminem. So number 1, is it more of a revival than Revival the album was? And 2, is this record good? I have to say, by a landslide, this has to be a better record than Revival was. And honestly, we can honestly thank Revival for this record coming out, because in my opinion, this has to be one of Eminem's angriest, but at the same time, most focused projects that we have gotten from him in a long, long time. So from the start, The Ringer sets the tone really nicely here for this record, especially lyrically. I really love the lyrical themes that it brings up, and these lyrical themes are pretty much what is represented here on this record, such as the critical failure of Revival, the state of hip-hop in 2018, and also politics, especially near the end where Eminem is kind of mocking those doubters who said, oh, that BET cypher you did was really weak, and how Donald Trump hasn't done anything about it. Also references Mike Pence, and then says that Agent Orange sent his Secret Service to meet up with Eminem to see if he was going to hurt him. And honestly, I kind of got a good laugh out of that. And then it gets to the track Greatest, which was produced by Mike Will Made It. I really love the beat here on the song, and it also has an interpolation of Kendrick Lamar's Humble, which Mike Will actually did produce that track. And it's so funny because I really love that line whenever it kind of goes a bit silent and Kendrick goes, my last stroke just went viral. Eminem kind of makes a joke about that and goes, Revival didn't go viral. I couldn't help but get a good laugh out of it just because it made sense. So, unlike Revival, this album does have a limited amount of guest features, but for the most part, I really do enjoy them, such as Joyner Lucas on the track Lucky You, which is one of my favorites here on this record. I really love the energy and the flow that Lucas brings to the table. He does a fast part here on this song, and then it comes to the chorus, which is really catchy. Eminem comes in, does his raps, does the faster rap parts, which I really do enjoy every time I listen to an Eminem record, especially since we've gotten Rap God, is waiting for that track whenever he's trying to set the bar a bit higher on tracks like that. And I really do enjoy that track. And then we got Royce da 5'9" on the track Not Alike, but it kind of does have similarities to the track Look Alive by Blockboy JB featuring Drake. And I do think that M and Royce really do have really nice chemistry whenever they do a track together. And then we also have Justin Vernon of Bon Iver on the track Fall, which is probably my favorite here on this record. I really love the beat to it. It sounds really dark. Justin Vernon's vocals and autotune sound really nice, and I love the flows and raps that Eminem brings to the table. Now, there is one guest feature that I'm not a big fan of, and that's Jessie Ray on the tracks Nice Guy and Good Guy. Nice Guy, honestly, I'm not too sure if that's even a joke track. It kind of sounds like it because it kind of goes from Jessie Ray singing, oh, you're such a nice guy, you don't go to the club as much, and then it goes to some weird vocal part where it goes, fuck you, bitch, or whatever, something like that, and it just kind of gets on my nerves, and Good Guy doesn't really do very much to spark my interest near the end of the record. but they're only like less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so they're not really tracks that I'd say are going to be the best here on this record. Now, if I did have a complaint about this record, it's that even though this album does have some angry but yet strong verses here on this record, Kamikaze, majority of these choruses just feel a bit annoying. Take a track like Stepping Stone, which I really do love the more serious tone that that track does bring to the table, although that last line about D12 ending is very sketchy. But whenever it comes to that chorus, it just feels a bit out of place with the instrumental, and it's so hard to understand what is being said. It just feels very, very weird. So for the first time in a long time, we get the Paul Rosenberg skit, which we haven't gotten in a long time, and in case you don't know what these skits are, this is pretty much where Paul calls up Eminem, tells him he listened to the record and has a whole bunch of questions for him, and then hangs up, goes to another track. So after this skit, it goes to Normal, which Normal isn't one of my favorites here on this record. It's probably the more forgettable. And then it cuts back to Eminem trying to call Paul back, and the first thing he tells him is, pick up your fucking phone. And then he kind of answers the question that no, this isn't just because of the failure that was Revival. And then he tells him that he's going to go find a reviewer because he rhymed the word rhyme with chimes, raps a verse, and then tells Paul he'll be back. Jeesh. I hope Eminem isn't coming to find me for the review that I gave Revival. The last track that we get here on this record is Venom, which is coming off of the soundtrack to the movie of the same name. Can't wait for that to come out in October. But yeah, I just really love the beat for that track. The synths just give it that really nice atmosphere. I also love Eminem's raps that he brings to the table. The chorus is just really, really catchy. And it also kind of brings up Marvel and Eddie Brock. So, of course, you can't have a song called Venom without those two things involved. So overall, I really do enjoy this record a lot more than I did Revival. I love the beats and also the lyrical themes that this record brings, such as the critical failure that was of Revival, politics on tracks like The Ringer and Kamikaze, and also the state of hip-hop in 2018. And it does have its phony moments here and there, and you actually get more of a laugh than you did on Revival on tracks like Framed! And also, this has to be one of Eminem's angriest, but at the same time, more focused projects that he has released in a very, very long time, I'd say since 2010's Recovery. So, overall, I do see myself coming back to this record. My rating here on this record is going to be an 8 out of 10. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on Kamikaze by Eminem. What did you think of the album? Definitely comment in the comment section down below. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you all for watching this video. As always, thanks to Infinity on Hannah for these awesome designs. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click right over there to catch up on more content on this channel. If you want to see a previous video that I did, you can click right over there to see that video. And if you want to follow any of my social media links, they are linked down at the bottom. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you soon.